So hello everybody, my name is Beck McQuilty and welcome here to the Frequency Soul Collective Thrive Tribe webinar today, where we will be focusing on all things health. So whether that's hormonal health, whether you're looking to release some weight, whether you're just not sleeping well, whether you just get too stressed out and don't quite know what to do with that, whatever that looks like for you, there is always something within our health that we can always improve. And that's definitely a focus, not only of mine, but with the collaboration that I work with. And today we've called in a very special guest, Jake Smith, who is our Vice President of Marketing for the beautiful company we are aligned with, Solex. And Jake just is a wealth of information and has so much knowledge, particularly around the gut health protocols and all of the things that we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to hand over to Jake and let him talk to you about his history of where he's worked and all of the things and his knowledge. And thank you so much, Jake, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Beck. It's so good to be with all of you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Paused for just a second on my end. So first, I just want to say that I work with and you are associated with a remarkable and extraordinary company. Solex is just a young but vibrant and growing company. We have an excellent team. It is just wonderful to work with Lauren, Kai, Shelby, Robert, all of the people that are in operations, all of the folks that support us in marketing, customer support. You guys, anytime that you've experienced being with Solex, especially a day of discovery, it's just a really, really fun thing for us, an honor for us to meet with you, and just grateful to be associated with such a great place. And it really is unmatched. I've never worked for a company or worked with a group of individuals that is so high caliber and high talented. So just want to, first of all, express my gratitude for being here with you today, and also exceptional QLAs in Australia as well as throughout the world. So thank you for being so wonderful. The other thing is that not only do we have an awesome team, but we have amazing products. And so today I'm going to be focusing on really 4 of those products, maybe 5, in AO Biome, AO Zymes, AO Gut, D3K2, and then I'm going to touch on youth as well. And again, just love each of these products. I had something to do with each one of them. As it relates to product development, my history in food science and organic chemistry, I've helped patent over 30 unique formulations. And I've never been a part of something that is so special in these products. And really fascinated with the new research that's out on each of the ingredients that we've placed in these formulations, but also the results that we're seeing, the testimonials that we get each and every day. And so I want to start just by saying AO Core is fundamentally and foundationally a wonderful product line because it matches perfectly with AO Scan, in that these are high frequency products. And a high frequency product, we'll talk a little bit about what that means, but each of these products is going to only enhance and help improve your frequencies and your state of light. And I'm going to refer to that often. So what's in AO Core? We've got Zymes, we've got Gut, we've got Youth, we've got Biome. We have a pack in Australia where everything is included in the pack except for Youth. I think D3K2 is the one that replaces that, but I do want to touch on that. In one of our tools that you have access to, sharesolex.com, is called our Digital Marketing Kit. It's our DMK. And in that DMK, we have all sorts of tools. And so if you go to sharesolex.com, you can pull up presentations on each of these products. And so, for example, this is the one on Zymes. and it talks to you about the problems that Zymes help solve, the things that we are faced with. It talks about the competitive solutions that are out there. There are launch videos that are attached with that, and it really gives you a nice format for how to talk about each of these products. And so a lot of the things that I'm going to be talking about today are actually going to come from these slides. So there's Zymes, here's Biome, and I hope that you guys can see this. Is my screen visible there, Beck?
Sure is. Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go through these. And then here's Gut, another presentation. Now, there are lots of other tools. There are printable brochures. There are pass-along cards. There are visuals that you can use to share with friends. And there are also videos, shareable videos and things that you can watch that help explain each of these products. So let's start first with Zymes. The question might be, why in the world do I need enzymes? What is an enzyme? Why are enzymes so powerful? This is something that has occurred, and we've known about enzymes for a very long time. We know that an enzyme is a catalyst that creates an action or activity in the body. Our zymes are very, very unique because they solve some of the biggest problems that we face as it relates to digesting macronutrients and micronutrients. So everything that we need, our bodies need as far as it relates to nutritional needs, come in the form of either proteins, carbs, fats, or micronutrients like our essential vitamins and minerals. And then we have lots of other things that fall beneath that with phytonutrients in the form of compounds. The problem is that because of our hectic lifestyles and so many demands, it's very difficult for us to get the enzymes that we need. It used to be that we would consume and harvest fruits and vegetables freshly from our gardens, and maybe some of you still do that. I love to do that. But getting those year round is very difficult. The other thing is that as we age, our body's ability to produce the enzymes, it actually decreases. And so you have endogenous versus exogenous, which just means the enzymes that we consume versus the enzymes that our body actually creates to help break down foods really is going against us as we age. And so as we consume proteins, carbs, and fats, it is very, very difficult to digest, break down, and then allow the cell to utilize and absorb those unless we have the right sources of enzymes. If we don't have the right source or the right types and varieties, and we don't have the diversity, it really can lead to um, an unhealthy gut. And so that busy lifestyle contributes to it. It's also as we age, we went through that, but these are all the things that I discussed earlier: proteins, carbs, and fats. They need to be broken down. What begins to happen is that as we do not break down the food and the nutrients that our bodies need, is that the metabolism begins to slow. And the metabolism is literally the ability to convert something that goes into our mouth and goes into our bodies and convert that into energy. The problem is that if we can't convert energy or food into energy, then we begin to store it. And as we begin to store it, then our body weight goes up and our lean muscle goes down. And so super, super important to not only gut health, but also to avoid metabolic syndrome, or being overweight or even obese, is to make sure that we can digest and break down the nutrients that we need. There are lots of competitive solutions out there. They lack the enzyme combinations. They don't offer the adequate doses. A lot of them may be synthetic and come from unnatural sources, and they don't have the soothing tummy taming ingredients that we have. The other thing I found is that enzymes can be extremely expensive. And so this is one of the things that is really, really important, is to find the very best solution. So there's a launch video. I'm not going to show that today, But typically, I think it's a good idea to have everybody in the audience, if you're with somebody face to face or in an in-home, that you have everybody try just one and experience what happens in a 24-hour period by just taking one enzymes. The thing that happens is you begin to feel great, because some of us, most all of us, struggle with something. Protein can make you feel bloated or gassy. Fiber can do wonderful things, but it can also, depending on the types of fibers that you're consuming, it can also create some discomfort. And so one of the most important things we can do is break down those carbohydrates and break down those proteins. So with enzymes in this little bottle, we have 17 high frequency enzymes. And you'll notice that each one of them are in a researched base dose. We haven't cut any corners on the amounts. And so as you read through and you say, okay, look at that. I've got amylase, I've got betaine, I've got protease, I've even got bile salts, which comes from oxen. We've got ginger and bromelain and peppermint leaf, all those things that soothe the tummy. Each of those things have their own really unique benefits. The other thing that we're using is that we are using bacteriophages, and I'm going to talk more about that with Biome. But enzymes, there are some enzymes that are bacteriophages. Phages are super soldiers. If you're into the game of chess, you have pawns and knights and rooks and bishops, and you have a king and a queen, and each of them have their role and they can do certain things. Some probiotics and prebiotics and some enzymes are kind of just straightforward, backward, forward like a pawn. And their ability to work in the body is just very straightforward. A bacteriophage acts more like the queen, where she really is a super soldier, and those bacteriophages can do things in targeting pathogens and targeting unhealthy bacteria and targeting things that are very, very difficult to break down if you struggle with lactose intolerance, or if you struggle with some very difficult things that you just have a difficult time, either because you get heartburn or other things. Those bacteriophages really, really go after those things that are difficult to digest. The primary benefits, I've kind of said this throughout, but you're going to notice that it does support healthy digestion and metabolism. It does convert food into nutrients, food nutrients into energy, and it promotes food tolerances where you may have felt like, oh, I'm allergic, or I just don't do well. I got to avoid carrots, or I've got to avoid a specific food. All of a sudden, the doors start opening on things that maybe you used to love, or things that you maybe have struggled with your whole life. The other thing is that you'll notice, because of the cleansing of the gut that enzymes allow, because you can literally, you can put a little piece of meat in a bowl and add a little bit of water and then sprinkle enzymes over the top of it. And you can use any food. You're going to watch what happens. The food will just immediately start disintegrating into smaller fragments, into smaller particulates. It's an excellent demonstration that you can do at home and that you can show those folks who are interested in Solex. The other tertiary benefits that you see, including with digestive health and metabolic health, we also see an improvement in skin health, in respiratory and immune system function, and then inflammation goes away. If you struggle with swollen legs, if you struggle with swollen glands or puffy face, Zymes can actually help you actually look thinner. And so it's just a wonderful, wonderful product. There are also some proteolytic enzymes, which just really helps in wound healing and joint pain and scar tissue. So just a fantastic product. I've spent way too much time on Zymes. I got carried away. I've got to go to Biome. I want to ask if anyone has any questions, if you could put those in the chat, and maybe Beck, if it would be okay, you could send those to me afterward and I can answer and respond to any questions that you guys might have. Within each of these presentations, there is an FAQs at the bottom of each of these presentations. I'll just scroll. There's a lot of stuff I didn't go through, but there's the frequently asked questions. When should I take it? What makes it different? A lot of those you'll see they're right there. Okay, I'm going to go to biome. Let's talk about the microbiome. Maybe rather than use the presentation, I'll just talk off the cuff, if that's okay. I'll scroll through some of these things, but sometimes I've got things that come to my head that might be just as beneficial, if not more. So one of the things that's not yet quite understood is this idea of a microbiome. Have you heard of that before? Do you know what it is? If you don't, maybe think of Pigpen from Charles Schulz comic strip Peanuts with Charlie Brown and Lucy and the gang. One of those guys' name his name was Pigpen, and whenever he would walk around, he would have like this dust ball following him wherever he went. And it was really to kind of illustrate that he was dirty. But the truth is, it was also illustrating that each of us have this halo that follows us around, made up of third-party microbes. And those microbes, also called healthy bacteria, come from the earth. And all of us have a microbiome around our body, on our skin, and actually inside of our body. And the most recent research has found that even in our brains, there are healthy bacterial strains that are very necessary for life. It was for a long time, even the inside inside the uterus of an expecting mother, it was thought to be a sterile environment. It actually is not sterile. It's sterile from pathogens and bad bacteria, but it's not sterile from healthy bacteria. And that's really where most of the research came, is from mom who was lactating and nursing. And researchers found that in the breast milk are billions of colony-forming units of healthy bacteria that help protect and preserve baby's health. And so a lot of food formulas, I've made formulas for babies, are trying to mimic mother's breast milk to try and give us what we lack in that healthy bacteria. And so one of the reasons that we know about probiotics is because of mom. And really all of the strains that we have started with a start that actually came from mother's breast milk, and then they, they're cells and they reproduce and they divide, they reproduce and they divide. The original source actually comes from the earth, but when mom takes them, she's able to harness those healthy bacteria in utero as well as in in her mother's milk, and able to give baby what she needs. But it's amazing because in the state of Wisconsin in the United States, one of the largest milk producing places in the world for dairy, and one of the largest yogurt producing places in the world for in the brand called Dannon. That is where a lot of the research happens with probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics. It's just a really, really cool thing. So why do we need probiotics? We need probiotics because they are life-giving cells. In other words, they give us protection. If the body inside the gut especially is made up of billions of colony-forming units of healthy bacteria. And without that bacteria, our guts, our bodies cannot perform their very best. And so it's really, really, really important that you have a balanced amount of healthy bacteria, as well as the food for that healthy bacteria. And the food that is for healthy bacteria is called prebiotics. And prebiotics come in the form typically of fiber. So chicory root, bananas, most fruits and vegetables are excellent food sources for probiotics, and we call those prebiotics. And you can get high concentrated amounts in our product, Biome. And so one of the cool things about Biome is not only does it have prebiotics, probiotics to help, we've got these analogies of it's like a force field, that it protects the body, and that it's actually really important to expose ourselves to healthy bacteria. One of the hard things is that we have pharmaceutical drugs that are antibiotics that literally kill life, or that they kill bacteria, and they are not preferential. So they not only do they kill the bad bacteria and pathogens, but they kill the good ones. And so if you're used to using a lot of bleach or Clorox or 409, you're going to be living in an environment where you're creating a place where you're not only killing the bad bacteria, but you're also killing the good bacteria, the healthy bacteria. And so it's important that you actually consume and refortify your body with healthy bacteria every single day. So the diversity of the bacterial strains decreases with age. Inside of our gut, we have over 5,000 unique genus and strains, and the species are even more. And then that diversity, it declines with age. We've learned that there are many probiotics that are on the market, but some of the top selling probiotics in the world actually only have one or two strains, and we have well over 50 strains, which is just remarkable. There's been a lot of research that you guys can read about, being healthy. They took an identical set of twins, one who they fed healthy bacteria and put on a healthy bacterial diet, the other an unhealthy bacterial diet, and they just really lived two different lifestyles. One very poor in health, and the other one extremely healthy. The other thing that they've done is they've shown that those who live longest actually have the highest diversity of healthy bacteria in the world. And so it's important to have not just one or two strains, but to refortify all of the strains that are inside of us. I'm going as quickly as I can. There's so much to tell you, and I would love to spend more time with you, but here are a few advantages. So within AO Biome, you've got the prebiotics, you've got the probiotics. We talked a little bit about phages. We have a bunch of bacteriophages, which are also known as healthy viruses. So you're familiar with bad viruses, coronavirus and others, flu viruses. Bacteriophages are healthy viruses that literally those are the super soldiers, or the queen in the chess set. They have a lot of functionality to target pathogens, to target salmonella, to target E. coli. And it's just an awesome thing that we have those in our formulation. The last thing that I'm going to talk to you about is postbiotics. What is a postbiotic? A postbiotic is actually a probiotic that is no longer living. Does that make sense? So probiotics are living cells, but a postbiotic is an afterlife probiotic. And why are those so important? Think about a fruit or a vegetable. You eat it freshly picked off of the tree or from the ground, and then you consume that. You have living organisms inside of you. But what's the process that the gut uses to break down foods? It literally creates a little microbrewery inside of you to break down the particulate sizes, and then to begin using the compounds to sort those through to the active transport and get those into the bloodstream and then into the cell. One of the most important things that happens is, as the body breaks down those pieces, the pieces of those living organisms, the probiotics, they actually are cofactors. They're helpers to the cell. And so when you have not just the living bacteria for the gut, but also the postbiotics that can be used in the cell, it becomes a really, really important thing for your health to not just metabolize the foods, but also to create energy in the form of ATP. And so just wonderful things. The last thing in our formulation, so we have healthy bacteria, food for that bacteria in the form of prebiotics, postbiotics, and we have phages, and then we have another microbe, healthy fungus. There's bad funguses, mold, yeast, but there are also very healthy funguses in the form of mushrooms. And so we have over 12 different types of mushrooms that are also in AOBiome. And so you really get, in the form of one product, you really get six. It's a 6-in-1 product with all of those healthy microbes. So wonderful, wonderful product. Okay, last one. I'm so sorry. I'm going over time. Um, Last one I want to talk to you about is gut, and then I'll just touch on youth as well. AO Gut, what a name. AO Gut. Originally, as a marketer, I was thinking, I don't know about that name. Kai really, really loved it. He actually named this product. And I think AO Gut, the words themselves really encapsulate what this product does. One of the most popular products right now, and it has been for a very, very long time out in the marketplace, are protein products. Protein is literally found everywhere. And people love protein because the more protein that you consume, the higher, typically, the higher your lean muscle mass will be. And in the muscle, you have more mitochondria than you do in like a fat cell. And so the muscle cell has, 100 times more mitochondria that are burning fat. And so people really love protein diets because protein can make you lean. It also helps you feel full. But one of the problems with proteins is that it is very, very difficult to digest. And so the AOZymes is very, very important. But the other thing that's really, really complementary is having a very good fiber product. In AO Gut, this is the only product that we offer that actually has an approved, authorized health claim approved by the Food and Drug Association, FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. So within gut, you have all these cardiometabolic helpers because we've got both soluble and insoluble fibers that help remove lipids. They trap fat. And so this is a really, really important one because it's one of those that if you have made a mistake and you had a little bit too much of something, maybe it's candy or cake, this is something that if you consume within 30 minutes after of maybe a party and having maybe too much of something, you can literally trap that fat and then evacuate it as waste in this product. I'm not going to encourage that, but that is mechanistically how it works. If you're to fill up a glass of water and pour in some oil, and then add AO Gut to that water and that oil and mix it up, what's going to happen is the psyllium husk, the apple fibers, the konjac root, all of the oat fibers and everything, they're going to start trapping the fat in that glass of water, and you'll be able to see that the water actually becomes crystal clear, and the AO Gut traps the fat. And what happens when fiber traps fat is it doesn't allow it to absorb into the bloodstream. And so that's why I gave the example of you can really kind of have your cake and eat it too with AO Gut because it will trap that fat and then evacuate it as waste. Now, again, the most sensible thing to do is just consume 35 grams of fiber every single day. This is an excellent way to get that dietary fiber. Um, of course, it's offering you 7.2 grams of fiber per day, but eat some other things as well that have that fiber so that you can, people that consume more fiber, they are healthier, they are leaner. And that's one of the charts here I show it. I compared a high fiber diet to all other diets on the market right here. Unmatched weight loss success with a high fiber plan. And so AO Gut helps your heart, reduces cholesterol, reduces triglycerides, keeps your blood pressure intact, but it also beats any of the very best diet plans that are out there on the market. If you can consume a high fiber diet, you'll be very pleased with the results. One of the things that I like to do, and um, I did show this plan. Have you guys seen this plan before? Um, this is an AO Core daily plan where this is an example day, day 1, day 2, day 3, and maybe just a daily routine of exercise. But really, as you consume these products every single day, you can do it morning or midday or at night. I love having this product at night. And the reason is I struggle with eating after 8 o'clock. And eating after 8 o'clock can really, really be damaging if you don't watch out, especially if you like things like ice cream and other things like that that I used to really, really enjoy. But as you take this at night, what happens is the body can really relax, restore, replenish, and then when you wake up in the morning, you can start your day with a very healthy BM, a bowel movement. And make sure when you take this product to drink lots and lots of water. Now, that's hard if you do that at night, but I will tell you that it needs the water to move through the digestive tract. The smaller intestine to the large intestine, it really needs a lot of water so that it's comfortable. Um, be be looking in the future for new innovations around this product. We're excited to see what will come in the near future. Um, Beck, I think I've taken too much time, but are you okay if I just take a little bit of time on youth?
Absolutely. No, go for it. We would love that. Thank you so much.
Okay, last one. Let's talk about youth. And we literally just launched the new youth sachets or the sticks in convenient 15 packs. You can get them in either flavor. You can get those in the lemon orange or in our raspberry lemon. And so, why do you need collagen? Why is it in this pack? Because collagen is the most abundant protein found in our body. And really, this pack is all about being youthful. It's also about feeling your very best and feeling your youngest self. It's amazing how your nutritional makeup can really impact how you feel every single day. And so with AO Youth, you have all of these really, really healthy collagens that help rebuild and restore the collagen that you lose as you age. And so there's a large group of doctors at Stanford University that got together and decided, what is it exactly that makes us age? And they narrowed it down to three different things. And maybe some of you have heard of these things before. The first is called AGEs. It's interesting that the acronym is Advanced Glycation End Products, or AGEs. The second thing is NAD plus, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. NAD plus declines as we age. And then the last thing is collagen declines as we age. So in this product, guess what you get? you get a solution for all three of these major causes of aging. So it's not just a collagen product. That's the most important thing that you can teach others about this product is that it's not just collagen. Collagen is exceptional, and we have a variety of sources, but it really combats these three problems. So the AGEs create the browning effect. When you put a piece of bread in the toaster, that somebody was consuming some avocado toast, um, the toast is literally going through a glycation process or the Maillard reaction in that the toast is browning. And that is actually creating AGEs. And so when you barbecue meat or when you cook anything, it really is creating these AGEs. Scientists are actually showing that there are healthy AGEs and there are unhealthy AGEs. The ingredients in this product target the unhealthy AGEs. And so those AGEs, they damage cells by a number of mechanisms. So there's oxidation, they just break down cells, and they really block autophagy or the ability for the cell to clean itself. And so overly cooking our foods is really a part of it's a contributor to these AGEs. And so eat raw. If you can eat raw and eat vegetables and fruits often, you're really, really going to be helping yourself. This is one other way to do it is to consume AGE nutrient loving supplements. So there's the example of how that works. NAD. NAD is a critical metabolite, and it actually helps generate energy in the mitochondria. Without NAD plus, our cells cannot really metabolize and create ATP like they need to. And so if NAD plus is very low in the foods that you eat, then you'll have a difficult time converting your food into energy. And so one of the things that we've done is we've included in this formula NMN and NADH, which are precursors to NAD plus, allowing the body to produce more NAD plus and really help slow down the aging process. That's all the time I've got to talk about youth, but man, what an amazing product. It really does address the three problems associated with aging, and it really, really comes with a very affordable price based on what we've got on here. You compare our product to others on the market. I think I've got a little chart here that shows it's just really unmatched. Let's see if I've got it here. I'll have to post that picture. But there's one that shows all the things that you'd have to buy to get all of the ingredients that are found in our AO Youth. And again, this is the only product within this range that is nano. And the reason that that's so important to know is that you don't want to nano things that you don't want in the blood-brain barrier. And so things like fiber, that stays just in the GI tract. Zymes, we want to keep that in the GI tract. And then our Biome product, that mostly it does the majority of its work in the gut. And then youth is able to go into the bloodstream, fortify the heart, fortify the muscle cells, fortify all of the tissues in the joints and in the hair and in our nails that really, really help people observe something wonderful immediately. The number one benefit that people see with taking AO Youth is thicker, fuller hair. Forgive me. My follicles are a little bit stronger. But the other thing that you'll notice is that your eyebrows, your eyelashes are thicker and fuller, and then your nails become stronger and they grow faster. So that's one of the number one benefits that we just hear over and over and over and over again. So it's a really great product, very experiential. So in closing, I just want to say you're in the right place. You have the right products. These all complement the tools that we have in AO Scan just complementary to the mat, the foot detox, our light relief therapies, the hub. Oh, there's so many great things coming with the hub. I want to encourage you, if you can, save the money up and begin using hub. RTMS, TENS, all of those tools that we have with the lasers, they really are complementary to the nutritional supplements that we offer as well. So I just want to say thank you. Please write your questions in the chat, and then I hope that, Beck, if you're able to gather those, I'll be able to answer those and respond to you. But thank
Yeah,
you so
awesome.
much for having me.
Thank you so much, Jake. We are so grateful. I wanted to ask a quick question. Somebody was asking in regards to Zymes and probiotic. Can we give those to animals, or would that be a different product that we might create down the track?
You know, they are absolutely safe for animals.
Okay.
It it is probably deserving to look at something for horses specifically. There's a dose thing that happens just based on weight and just volume, depending on the size of the animal. But if you're looking to help a dog or a cat, just with some discomfort, probiotics and enzymes are wonderful, wonderful helpers, especially to those animals that struggle with digestive issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And can you just tell us a little bit about D3K2? I mean, I take it every single day. I know it is absolutely essential for immune health, and a lot of people over time have kind of lost a lot of their immune system. Can you just talk just a little bit into D3K2 and why it's important? Because my other understanding is for those women who I'm not going to include myself in the category just yet, but I feel like I'm on the cusp of moving into, menopause or whatever the case may be, or just needing to look after their bone health more. My understanding is D3K2 is essential to be able to absorb calcium, and yet these are things that we are not educated on out in the general public, right?
Absolutely. D3K2 is your calcium helper. It's your for people that struggle with osteoporosis, osteopenia, or you have a low bone density, you must have vitamin D3 and K2. The nanotechnology in these peptides, which allow the body to really assimilate and get the bones what you need, are critical, 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 critical. So you look at vitamin D3, you look at the vitamin K2, you look at vitamin K1. We have both menaquinone and phyloquinone. Both of those are essential vitamins to really help not only the immune system, because the bones, the marrow in the bones really help catapult and support and strengthen the immune system. And so important to take D3 and K2, and not just in the dull months where it's cloudy, but all year long. This is something that you will feel immediately better because of taking D3K2. It also, the taste is quite pleasant. And so just making sure to put that underneath the tongue and get that sublingual delivery, you can immediately get that into the bloodstream. Is so helpful with all of the things. This also comes with a really, really strong health claim related to those bone problems and issues and conditions that we deal with. So, not only supporting the immune response, the immune system, but the cardiovascular system. You need D3K2 for the heart. You need D3K2 for the peripherals and the inflammatory response. We need healthy inflammation, but we need to also suppress the unhealthy inflammation. And consuming D3K2 daily really helps promote healthy platelet response, so that when you've got wounds in your endothelial lining, or when you've got problems in your arteries, that you're addressing those issues and promoting the health where it really needs to be targeted to help protect the cells. So yes, yes, yes. Take D3K2, and I love the liquid liposomal delivery, where we've encoded that with healthy coconut. Is just phenomenal delivery and a wonderful a wonderful addition to what you guys are offering in the Down Under.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I really love the technology that we utilize with a lot of our supplements, which is the nanotechnology. And for those of you who are not sure what that is, what that basically means is the phenomenal ingredients that we are using, we are actually breaking down the molecular structure of that product to make it more bioavailable for the body. So the technology that we use is not only safe, it's actually far superior to any other supplementation on the market. So thank you so much, Jake, for sharing all of that information. We really appreciate that. I would love to now move into how you can get started. You know, who are we? What do we do? And, you know, a little bit more about us here today. So thank you so much, Jake. We're so grateful, and absolutely we will have you back anytime. We could listen to you all day because your knowledge is just phenomenal, and we certainly appreciate all that you do.
Well, thank you so much. I love being with you all.
Thank you. Thanks, Jake. All right, so I'm just going to share my screen now as well so that I can just show you a very, very quick let's just show you a little bit about who we are at the Thrive Tribe. So let me just pull this up for you. And Jake, I would love you to stay on if you happen to have the time, if you're not going to be late for date night.
Oh yeah, no
Just
problem.
to check this out. It's really cool. So I guess, you know, for those of you who are new to joining us today, our team is the Frequency Soul Collective, and within that collective, we have the Thrive Tribe. And the Thrive Tribe is really about a group of like-minded people coming together to help each other. So we are all about your body balanced, your mind aligned, and your life empowered. So who are we? We are a community of men and women here supporting each other to feel better, you know, to help your energy levels. If it's a bit of weight that you need to release, then to release weight, balance your hormones, live empowered lives, and build community and lifelong connections. Again, a little bit more about the issues that we help with: reducing stress and cortisol levels, of course, improving your gut health, like Jake has talked a lot about today with very simple, incredible solutions. Improving your mental health, because if you have anything mental health going on for you, it all starts in the gut. Learn how to increase your energy naturally. Release unwanted weight, as we've talked about, and balancing those hormones. Learn how to sleep better. Look and feel younger, and biohack your wellness. Now, within our collaboration, that isn't just with product. As a group of practitioners, we have learned many tools over the years. There is not one solution to whatever it is that you are looking to heal. This is a protocol, this is a lifestyle, and something that we will support you on this amazing journey. So how do we do that? We connect as a community. Every single week for 30 minutes, we will jump on a call with you, just a Zoom like this, no slides, just us, so that you can ask questions. Feel that you are a part of something, because you are. Us give you tips and tricks on how to improve that next level of your life and that next level of your health. You can ask questions, share testimonials. We'll always love to hear feedback. We're going to be educating and doing in-person connection events as well, such as rainforest walks and meditations on the beach, day retreats, overseas retreats, sound healings, and so much more. We have an entire team of practitioners who are here to support your journey. So as we have talked about today, the Thrive Tribe Bundle, also known as AO Trio with D3K2, will support your gut healing, hormone balance, lower your cortisol, help you sleep better, give you more energy, strengthen your immunity, and your overall well-being. So when you become a Thrive Tribe member for free, You can receive these weekly free education calls and events. Yes, all of our events are free. So the bonus, when you actually purchase your Thrive Tribe bundle, you will also receive your emotional balance scan. So what this is, we use AO scan technology, a frequency technology that will pick up the octaves in your voice when you speak into it. And when you speak into that, it will, or you can even make sound. You don't even need to necessarily speak. So for a baby, it could just be noise. And when you do that, we will actually be able to determine what top 4 octaves are out in your voice. That will then give you the frequencies embedded into music for you to listen to, or for the frequencies to be able to embed into the brain to balance those emotions out. So everything starts with emotion. We will also give you mind sync affirmations. This is affirmation technology specifically exclusive to us at SoulX. This alone is valued at $189. And when you are active every month with the Thrive Tribe, you will actually receive all of that completely free. We also have alternate options as well. So this is our core bundle. But like Jake has talked about today, collagen is essential. I take collagen every single day. My eyesight up until recently has always been perfect, but recently I've noticed my eyesight shifting. So we have a product called Vision, or maybe it's you do need help with more sleep or more energy. Whatever that looks like, we have a solution for you. Now, this is super raw and super vulnerable right here, but this is me. This is my before photo, and I'm not going to tell you that this is my after photo because it is not, but it is my progress photo. And for those of you who think me standing on my side with my belly out like that is me pushing my belly out, I 100% was not actually doing that. So I knew I had to make some health shifts, and I did. And you can see from utilizing the protocol that we recommend along with our high frequency food supplementation, this is the result that I have been getting. And the other thing is too, this result has also happened whilst I have traveled the world. I do travel a lot, so there are many times that I don't get to stick to my regime 100%. So yet these are still the results that I am getting. This is my beautiful friend Connie. Have a look at her before and after photo, sorry. Imagine how she is feeling. This isn't just about physical change. It's about the energy, confidence, and lightness that you can feel. When your body, mind, and frequency come into alignment, the release happens naturally. No stress, no struggle, just flow. Doesn't she look amazing? This is another testimonial. I went to the cardiologist office today I see him every 12 months. Today, he couldn't believe how great I was looking and how much weight I have lost. I know that I have lost at least 15 kilos in the last 6 months purely by following the Thrive Tribe protocol. And this is mine. So I have been on this protocol for 9 months. I have wanted to shift 10 kilos. I travel a lot, so I find it difficult to keep my diet on track, yet I have still shifted almost 5 kilos, halfway to my goal. I have more energy, I sleep better, and my hormones are literally completely balanced. Thrive Tribe for the win. So how can you get this paid for? So become a Quantum Living advocate. And that will only cost you $49 US per year. When you start on the products, when you purchase the products, you will get results and you will want to share them. People will ask you, what are you doing? Why do you look so good? How come you have so much more energy? And all of this is simply sharing your experience with people. So when 3 people decide to come along and join you on this journey, do you know that your product every single month is 100% paid for? Isn't that just incredible? With 3 people. This isn't about necessarily building a big business. This is just sharing something that will work for you to help others. But if you want to share more, can you actually earn some extra income? Well, yes, absolutely. So what does this look like and how do you get started? So if you order your Thrive Tribe bundle today, or your AO subscription, if it's the frequency technology that you really want to hone in on, you're looking at an absolute maximum of $161.78 USD per month. That's approximately $8 Australian per day. Isn't your health worth that? I 100% think it is. So you can scan this QR code. This will take you directly to the Thrive Tribe Facebook group. This is a free community for you to join us where we put tips and tricks. We also put different recipes, all different things in there for you to be able to join us here. So to get started, we would ask you to go back to the person who has referred you to this call today, whether you're live on the call or watching the replay, so that you can join us with the Thrive Tribe. Connect with us every week on a half-an-hour accountability call. Learn as you go, be educated as you go. There are so many aspects to health. That is not something you can do in just a week or two. This is a journey that we invite you to be on with us as a collaborative. So thank you everybody for joining us today. Thank you for joining us with the Thrive Tribe and the Frequency Soul Collective. Thank you again, Jake, for joining us from our corporate team over in the United States in Utah. And a massive thank you as well to Britta, who is here today interpreting for our deaf community. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Have an absolutely amazing day. And remember to reach out to who has invited you to this call to get started on your new journey, because we are here for you. Thank you and goodbye.